What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. I've been talking about the Buffalo Bills game for the last couple of days, and I thought the spread would be 9.5, 10. The spread is 12.5, which tells me that Vegas does not believe in Miami in this game. They think this is going to be a slaughter. Anytime it's more than 10, they don't think it's going to be competitive. This is more than a two touchdown advantage. This is not really a betting advice. Buffalo tends to cover their spreads. I'll say that. Traditionally, Buffalo is a pretty good team at covering their spreads, especially high spreads. I mean, I get it. Short week on the road against a team that's super on paper overmatched. You know, you've not been good against this team for years now. I understand all of that. This is this is not great. I will say the only not saving grace. The only thing that you can maybe attach yourself to is that no one believes in the team. Now, I will say no one believes in the team coming into the year, and as of now, we've given them no reason to feel any different about that. We basically went to bed 2 days in a row, 2 games in a row. We sometimes play Buffalo tough though. Like even though Buffalo clearly has been a better team over the last 5, 6, 7 years, we've had multiple games, including the playoff game with Skylar Thompson, including the game I think it was second to last week of the season a couple years ago where it was 14-10 in the fourth quarter, and we let a punt return touchdown again, sink us, and then we couldn't really get the lead back. But we played tough that whole game, and of course we beat them in Miami when Josh couldn't get the snap off. Like there's been moments where, yes, the Bills are a better team, but we played them tough. There's also been moments where the Bills have scored 48 points and basically scored every time they had the ball. That was not as cool. So this is shaping up to be the latter, but there's something here where it can be the former. I'm only putting hope in the idea that we won't get beat by 12.5. That's my only hope. I, again, don't see a path to victory. I know that's like, as a fan, you shouldn't say that. I get it. I try to be real on this channel. I don't see a path to victory. I don't see the team blocking up front well enough to stop the pass rush from Buffalo or to establish a run. And if we can't establish a run and it's just Tua going back 40 times to throw, I think they're going to be on him. I think he's going to get hit a lot. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear it. I'm very nervous about it. I'll just be honest. I don't love the prospects. Defensively, what's there to talk about? Back to back games, 33 points. Now, one game, 6 came from a kick return. Sure. But that's 27 and 33 points in 2 games against people who are not named Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson. So, what I'm supposed to believe that we're going to just get better at defense against a far superior opponent with a shorter week of rest and preparation? What make it make sense? Make it make sense. I think the spread is fair. I mean, now if it was 10.5, I would have been like, all right, cool. Single digits didn't make any sense to me. I think it might even get bet up more close to kickoff, so maybe 13, 13.5. Bottom line is, this is not looking good on paper, but you got to play the games on the field. So anything can happen. We shall see. I tell you what's not helping the prospects of Thursday, though. It's when your starting quarterback takes time out of his life to go praise the other starting quarterback. I don't care how good Josh Allen is. All right? I don't want to hear it. Josh Allen can have 1,700 yards this next game. If I'm playing him in week 4, I'm like, yeah, we can do what we can to stop Josh. I'm not going to sit here and do what Tua did. This is what Tua said. He said, dude, he's top tier. That dude can literally anything he wants. Definitely a different skill set from me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then how he could just chuck a ball down the field with how far and that arm strength that he has. He's supreme when it comes to that. This sounds like Tua wants to go play for the Bills. Bro, we all know Josh Allen is Josh Allen. We know that. It's not, he literally is a reigning MVP. We have to relitigate Josh Allen. I get it. I don't want to hear, man, I can't do half of what that other team's quarterback can do. That's the number one fear of Dolphin fans, is that we kind of like Tua at quarterback, but then we see other quarterbacks doing all this stuff, and we're thinking, man, they can do a lot more stuff than Tua can do. And then with Tua's like, man, I can't do half of what they can do. You're like, well, don't say it out loud. We're all thinking it, but don't do that. Because now I can't be like, nah, we're happy with our decision, because then it sounds disingenuous, especially when you yourself are like, man, that guy's running and just chucking the ball down the field. He do whatever he wants. I would love a quarterback who does whatever he wants, but we have Tua and we're making it work, or we have made it work up to this point. But don't like put a mirror next to the other side and be like, but this is what you could be. I don't like it. I don't like anything about this. I know Tua's had an issue with being overly honest in press conferences before, and we give some praise to that because most don't talk or say the honest Cincinnati and we got to get back to fundamentals. And it's like, all right, fine, we got it. They're not really saying anything. Tua says too much. This has happened many times. It happened with Tyreek. It's happened right now. It happened with a reporter about, hey, you throw picks and bunches. What? Like, I think everything you have that's a gift can be a curse, right? In Tua's case, Tua seems to be super authentic. I think one of the most likable things about Tua is that he seems to be the guy that he is. I don't think he's putting on air. I know he's got has some wild hairstyles over the years. That's whatever. But Tua seems to be who he is. Straightforward, down to earth, family guy, values, you know. He seems to be a chill dude. So when he gets in front of the press conference, he gets comfortable sometimes. He just says what he's thinking, and sometimes what you're thinking, you shouldn't say. I don't care if I'm playing Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in Kansas City. I'm not gonna go in there like, odds stacked against me, man. I'm playing KC and Patrick. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just like, hey, we plan on winning the game. I know who Patrick Mahomes is, but my name is Tua, Big Tua. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, you know who I am. I got that one in the back of my jersey too. But when you come out and say stuff like this, it almost sounds like I'm about to lose. There was a time, I want to say it was the second year after Kevin Durant got to Golden State, and they played Cleveland in the finals, and they played LeBron. And LeBron was like, man, I'm just really happy to get to the finals. And the reporter was like, how do you feel about playing Golden State? And he just kind of made a face like, I mean, listen, man, they got 4 Hall of Famers over there. Like, it was so, like, his soul got snatched out where he was like, we're not going to beat this team. If we get a game, it'll be great. They got swept in the series. But if we get a game, it'll be great. But he was like, bro, we're not going to win. As good as I think I am, what are we doing? To me, this is Tua being like, man, look at that guy. I mean, I see what Haley sees in him. Like, I don't want to hear any of that. I don't like any of this. Just Tua, do better. We're going to stay with Tua because why not? So Tua was talking about what's been happening to the offense this year. And I think from the outside, it's just you guys can't pass protect, you can't run the ball. And Tua's made some really, really reckless decisions with the ball. Just reckless decisions where guys are open and he's not throwing it, or guys are very much not open. He's like, nah, I can fit it in. He's done some reckless stuff. What I've seen, and I've said this to you guys, is that where we want to attack the field, defenses have started guarding against it, right? This is what Tua had to say specifically. He said, I would say that that's the style that have been playing us in. And they found a lot of success. As you see, we had to throw outside the numbers this past game and then check downs. We try to find ways to maneuver guys to get out of the middle so that we can find those soft spots inside the numbers, if you will. The Dolphins offense is predicated on throwing inside the hashes and breaking routes. That's why if you see a lot of the routes, it's Tyreek running up, cutting across the middle, Waddle doing the same thing out of the way, and they're always trying to meet in the middle. Or they're running through a zone where they might start on the right side of the offense, and the route takes them all the way across to the left side, right? What started happening basically a year ago is teams were like, well, Miami can't run the ball. So my linebackers don't need to be committed to stopping the run. So my linebackers are just going to back up. We're just going to back up. Linebackers stand, 8 to 10 yards from the ball, see where the guards are going typically, attack downhill. That's what the linebackers doing. But they're like, I think our D-line can kind of handle this run game. I don't really got to affect that much. These guys are bailing. Backpedal. And then when Tua wants to throw that 15-yard in route, the linebacker's there. And Tua's trying to get the ball over. He's not able to do it. Our receivers are short because that's what we have. We have short receivers. So they're short and fast, running across the middle. Linebackers backing up. You can't hit the receiver. So what you saw in the game is Tua severely overthrew Tyreek on one play, where Tyreek got halfway through his jump and just let the ball go. He's like, where was that pass going? It's because I think Tua's been used to trying to fit and drop the ball that it's just not working. Part of the issue with this is because we can't run the ball, the linebackers don't have to change their coverage. This is all part of the whole thing. All offseason, I've been saying we got to run the ball. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I've been saying it to them blue in the face. My hat is blue. But we don't run the ball, so linebackers don't respect the run. When you don't respect the run, you just pack the middle. They got two or three guys in the middle of the field, 12 to 15 yards back, jumping up with their hands in the air. Tua's not tall. Our receivers aren't tall. The windows are very small. You have to basically fit the ball in between where linebackers are, or Tua's got to look them one way and then try to like snap the throw to a different direction. It's becoming really cumbersome. And I think this is an obvious thing because Tua throws best across the middle because one, that's a straighter throw. Like 15 yards, boom. 15 yards to the hash is not actually a 15-yard throw because the hash is at an angle. So a 15-yard hash might be a 25-yard throw, 20-yard throw, whatever. And you're throwing out to the side of the field, which means that the chances of someone stepping in front and picking it are very likely. So if you've seen some of Tua's picks, I think against the Jets, teams like that, when he throws some of those outs, if he throws it with not enough velocity or not enough timing, the DB undercuts it and then takes it the other way. So in this game, we did a lot of out routes, which is why you saw a lot of 4 or 5 yard passes outside, 2 taps, out of bounds. Screen pass, out of bounds. I know people, fans, are livid, hate screen passes. Why you always throwing screens? Throw the ball downfield, push the ball downfield. The guy next to me at the bar was literally screaming, push the ball down the field. I'm like, to where? To where? They got linebackers back. They got safeties back. They're covering all that. Also, what's to and throw the ball 60 yards? That's not, what are we doing? The play to beat that is not necessarily just to throw outside. Yes, throwing outside helps. Yes, screens help. The way to beat that is to run the ball. You run them out of that coverage. That's how you get them off of that. You run 5 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 4, 8. At some point, linebackers, they creep forward. And the minute they creep forward, you fake the ball to the running back, pop up, let that ball go. And they'll try to sink back late, but now they're too far forward. Instead of standing at 10, they were standing at 7. So when they came forward 2 steps and you pull the ball out, they start retreating. They're only getting back to 8, 9. And the ball's going at 15, they won't ever get to it. And you'll see Tyreek snatch on the run. Waddle, snatch on the run. Washington, maybe the same. But you can't do that if they don't run the ball. It's like in basketball. If you have a guy that can't shoot threes, I'm not going to cover you at the 3-point line. I'm going to back up inside the 3-point line. Or if I'm really a hater, I'm going to just go by the basket like, I'm just going to wave you off. Man, he can't shoot. And just go by the basket. What I'm not going to do is sprint out to the contest and throw my hand up. Why would I do that? You haven't shown me you can make a three. Tua's not showing he can push the ball really far down the field or really far down the field to the outside. So why would I guard that position? If I'm a DB, I'm playing with inside technique, eye on the quarterback. Any in-breaking route, I'm flipping them hips and I'm running the route for the receiver. I'm not going to let you throw the ball behind me. You're not going to back shoulder me. You got to throw the ball over my head with some loft and with some arm power. If you don't got it, it ain't going to happen. And I think that's what's been happening. And again, teams always adjust to your offenses, right? No matter what you do, teams try to adjust. That's why when like the Wildcat first came out, people were like, "How do you stop this?" But then the next year, people got pretty good at stopping it. Even RPOs now with quarterbacks, people just run up the field and hit the quarterback. Whether they hand it off or not hand it off, I'm blowing the quarterback up. And what that does is make the quarterback hand the ball off and say, "Hey, I ain't got it. I don't got it. Don't hit me," because they don't want to get hit anymore. Makes sense. All this stuff can be countered. It seems like defenses have adjusted to our offense faster than we've adjusted to them. We've tried to stretch them laterally to try and make them come down more, but it's just not working. That's why all the screens and reverses, all that stuff is trying to move the defense this way so that you can hit them this way. But that's the first one's not working, so then we're just kind of in this pattern of, I guess we're going to dink and dunk our way down the field, which I don't mind, but we got to score touchdowns. You can't dink and dunk and then get to the 40, punt, and you had the ball for 6.5 minutes, you don't get any points. Or worse, you get to the goal line, but because you don't used to being physical up front, you get blown off the line near the red zone, and now you're selling for a 22-yard field goal. They're both bad. They're both bad. Final topic, we're going to do your questions because we like to hear from you guys. And I've gotten a lot of questions this week about Coach McDaniel's job security. Is he going to get fired in the event of a terrible loss to Buffalo? Now, typically, the Dolphins don't fire coaches in season. This is not something that the team does. Pretty stable ownership. We'll let you play the year out. You'll know you're going to get fired. Cam Cameron coached that whole awful season. Could have fired him anytime. But when the season was over, you don't work here no more. So, yes, that's typically how it works out. I will say the screams for firing have gotten pretty loud. And you got people flying banners over the field asking for regime change. Like I think the fan base has hit like kind of a fever pitch. This last loss wasn't the fact that we didn't play well, is that the way we lost was the worst possible way to lose. We went from, oh man, Devon, what a screen pass touchdown. High five into, of course, he stepped out of bounds too. What are we doing on plays too? Did we lose to the Patriots? Like that's what that whole sequence was. And because it's a Thursday game, if after this game, let's say it's 40-7, some terrible score like that, yeah, a little bit longer time to get the next person to be the coach. You got a few more days to integrate. Um, you're gonna have the whole Friday news cycle on you. Like if this game doesn't go well Thursday, Friday morning, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be worse than week one because now you're 0-3, two division losses, blown out in two of them. Like, what are we doing? How do you sell your fan base? Hey, we're still in it. Keep hope alive. I don't believe week three is the game. I don't believe that. I think even if we lose 49 zip, I don't think he gets fired. I think somebody might get fired. I think Bobby Slowick might take an L. Like we'll fire somebody on the offense. We won't fire like the head coach. I don't believe that part, but I do think that does set up week four to be kind of make it or break it. I can see after week four them being like we're done because you can't go 0-4 and think you can make the playoffs with three division losses. That doesn't make any sense. But I think he's secure in this game. My worry is the idea in his mind that I know I'm on the hot seat. Do I start coaching this game really far out of character for me? Do I start going for all the fourth downs? Do I start being super aggressive down the field? Hey, we throw a pick, it's a 50-yard bomb. That's better than a punt anyway. Do we start doing that aggression? Do we completely abandon the run, which I think is always on the table, that we just won't run the ball? And I don't know why. I just wish that, like Houston last night, watching the game, Chubb was playing horribly. Like he just wasn't doing well. Then, like the last drive, breaks a 20-yard touchdown. Now I think Tampa let him score so they can get the ball back and win the game. So maybe he wouldn't have broke that in normal circumstances, but he did. And the announcer was like, "You know what? This is the first time offensive coordinator he's sticking with the run." And I said, "Oh my God, that sounds great." Sticking with the run. What a novel concept. Yes, I know you're having trouble blocking. It's much easier blocking going forward than going backwards. And with how fast Devon is, a little crease, he's out of there. But we get a couple of those 1-2 yard carries, you may not see a run for a quarter. We're just not here for it. And I think that's what needs to happen. Again, the job is going to be the job. If this we don't make the playoffs, he's going to get fired. We know that. I don't think it'll happen in the season, but I do think it can speed up. I think if we have a mediocre season, 7 wins, 8 wins, whatever, I think he gets to coach the whole year. If it starts 0-4, 0-5, I don't see a way he finished the year. I don't see it. So these next three games, you got to be at least 2-3. At least, ideally 3-2, but at least 2-3. If you're worse than that, it's not gonna happen for you. And I don't want to see that. I like Coach, but I do think that it seems like his voice is not landing like it should. Like his press conference, I read a quick quote yesterday, but you keep listening, man, he's throwing a lot of people under the bus. Hey man, the play was called, but they didn't execute it. I was like, ooh, that felt that felt flagrant. Like he was just, yeah, I'm dissatisfied with the whole operation. I'll take the blame for it, but really they got guys on the field. Like he was taking blame, but it was like ricocheting off and just hitting everybody else. It doesn't feel like he has a good grasp of the locker room. It just feels like he knows the end is coming, so he's like trying to position himself to like land smoothly. No matter what, he's going to be an offensive coordinator next year, no matter what. He's that great. But he wants to be a coach, and I'm afraid he won't get a head coaching job after this one. So he's trying to like squeeze this for all his worth because I don't think he gets a second job after this. Um, that's it's tough. It's tough. I think he's a smart guy, but I just think the team is just not listening. They're just not here for it. And when your team is not with you, you don't have a team. You have a collection of guys working for their next contract, and then you're the guy that's overseeing them, but they're not here for you. They don't buy into your message anymore. They don't buy into the message. They don't buy into the system. Got to cut bait. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and the subscribes. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.